What's the good word, y'all? DKB here. So, I'm a little late with this news, but I came across it. It seemed very important to me because it brought an air of relief to me that things could fall apart with this Aaron Rodgers trade. There's been a lot of back and forth. Things have shifted from a lot of the reporters saying that this deal seems mostly done, and that there's a few, minor pieces like the 2025 compensation, for example, if Aaron Rodgers decides to only play 1 year. More of those reports have been saying lately that the deal is not close to being done, and that we have the Woody Johnson rumors with him kind of reneging on maybe, opening the floodgates to bring in Aaron Rodgers. Cost doesn't matter, right? And so we're kind of hearing that he's peeling back on that with somehow maybe finally hearing the news from when Aaron Rodgers said he plans on playing for the New York Jets. But that he was 90% retired heading into that darkness retreat. All of that aside, Aaron Rodgers, well, I guess you could say one of his best friends within the organization, the guy that's been staying around the longest during the Aaron Rodgers era for him, his blindside protector, again, one of his best friends, David Bakhtiari. He was on a podcast, Bussin With The Boys, and he was speaking about, the Green Bay Packers, what's kind of going on with Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love updates, all of that good stuff. There's a few key things that he mentioned when he was directly kind of asked about Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. He said he's a Jet now, so it's the New York Jets problem. No, he's not officially a Jet, but he's going to be. What else is going to happen, right? And this was on April 11th, so this is only a week and a day ago, at least by the time you guys are seeing this. But ultimately, I think the sentiment still rings true because that's around the same time that, again, the Woody Johnson era, the Woody Johnson rumors and all of this other stuff about the deal not necessarily being as close as everybody expected was coming out. Let alone that he goes on to kind of mention that within the Green Bay Packers organization, when it comes to Jordan Love and kind of how the team is providing the information to the locker room about what's going to happen, he said that they've already given the keys to Jordan Love and that this was communicated to the entire team already. He also goes on to address to even further double down on that the team is kind of working as if they are in a bit of a rebuild, regardless of how Jordan Love necessarily does. Whether he comes out and he looks great or he doesn't, they know that they need to bring in some more foundational pieces to build around Jordan Love itself, as this was a roster, much like Aaron Rodgers, that has aged over the years, and they tried to extend their playoff window as much as possible. So, again, I feel a strong sigh of relief. He doesn't have anything to necessarily gain from providing any of this information out there, for one. For two, this could potentially help us. I know a lot of people are talking about David Bakhtiari being thrown into part of this trade package. I still don't love the idea. I think he's a great tackle. But again, the roster had a little bit of an influx of veterans, but I still would like to try to see this continue to be a bit of a youthful movement, because at some point we are going to move on from Aaron Rodgers when he does get here, and whether that's Zach Wilson, a draft pick, maybe somebody that's just a bit younger in the next free agency pool, you're still going to want to make sure that you can extend this window for time. So where does that leave the New York Jets? Again, I think this does ultimately end up becoming a draft day deal, right? We're talking about it's April 19th, the time you guys see this. So we're talking 8 days until the NFL draft kicks off. The 13th pick has already been confirmed. That essentially that's off the table from Woody Johnson's side, if you believe the rumors. Brian Gutekunst himself also mentioned that it won't take the 13th pick to get a deal done. So even if we go throughout the entirety of day one and we don't hear any news at the top of the hour, I'm sure, of day two, we can expect a lot of information to start coming out in terms of the deal being done. If we get to that first pick, then I'll be a little bit concerned. But considering he's mentioned, Bakhtiari's mentioned, Jordan Love has the keys. I know there's been the threat that they'll just keep Aaron Rodgers on the payroll, and they'll essentially roll with that, right? Paying a Hall of Famer money to not do anything whatsoever within the organization and continue forward with Jordan Love. I don't see that being feasible for them, right? Especially if they do think that there's some things that they can do over the course of the beginning of the season. So in terms of, player cuts, different things of that nature coming up. So I don't think that's so much of a hard ball that they have up their sleeve. But we'll see how it plays out. So I don't know. I'm curious. What are your guys' thoughts? David Bakhtiari confirming Jordan Love is going to be the starting quarterback for the Packers, and basically confirming that Aaron Rodgers doesn't really have a place in the building anymore. He's going to be a New York Jet. We just need to see what the logistics to get to that point actually looks like. So appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you again. Peace.